It's from Zilam Animation that we picked up. And you should see the show. All that we have done to it is, this was a silent comedy. Okay. What we did was we requested the licenses, took permission from them, and we added a script to it. We've added a script to it, and recently we did a research in good 4 to 5 cities, and every child's reaction was, we love the dialogues. It's just a mimicry of few of the Bollywood actors, Nana Patekar, Sunny Deol. All that we have done is added script.
So do you think the mimicry of the Bollywood actors is giving the ratings, or the story?
It's the show, it's a slapstick humor.
Right.
So it's a combination of the two. It's not just one or the other. It's a combination of two which has given that show. And again, it's a show which reached that slot in the second or the third month of its launch, which is not from Japan, neither is it from US. It's a chase story. It's these 3 cockroaches which is making the life of this particular one organism, making his life miserable, who all he wants to do is just live in peace. It's as simple as that. But, universal enough. And it's a show made in France, it's working.
Does the design have a French look? Because you said that the
no,
show here should look Indian.
I would see, they need not look, they should look Indian enough for us to figure out, okay, it's Indian. But
right.
Japanese shows, how Japanese can, they look Japanese. Children still identify it. Look to me as a broadcaster and as a viewer is secondary. For me, what am I going to watch a movie for? If I just have to look at the visuals, I can just look at a very nice slideshow. I need to be told a story beautifully. I want to see a good story being told to me. That's what I go to watch movies for. That's what I go to television for. That's why I watch documentaries. I need to be told a good story. Please give me a good story. Trust me. After that, even visually, if it's decent enough, you cannot go possibly wrong. That's my experience as a broadcaster and as a programmer tells me. If your narration, if your script, if your concept is strong, it's seriously very difficult for you to go wrong. We recently had an example of this movie and loved that movie personally. I'm saying Tere Bin Lal Hai. Now we know the kind of budget it has been shot, and we know the look of the movie. It's just the concept, it's just the dialogues, it's just a unique idea. It was so beautiful, it was so funny. I must have laughed in the movie, I think, after ages.
Right.
Half of it probably is shot on shoulder. It's a shoulder cam. It was so beautifully, it's the story. So what really sells is a story. I'm going out there to watch a story. Visually, it enhances it. But to me, I don't know if every broadcaster would agree to that. Yes, if it's, everyone, we all like watching 3D. It looks beautiful. But again, if it's not accompanied with good storyline, narration, no matter how beautiful images you present me, I would rather go and see just silent images. They're as beautiful.
You generally hear from broadcasters about you talk to a broadcaster and say, I'm looking for boys action adventure 7 to 11. PG plus, and you have something else that you pitch. And they say this is good, but it probably belongs somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
to some extent,
like when you're giving guidelines about you want a good story, do you want to add more guidelines so that people are preparing to pitch to you?
See,
don't have to go back and come again.
No, I was not just saying from Nick's point of view. I was just purely saying it from a broadcaster's point of view. Now, my TG could be very different from Disney's TG. That is for you to, yes, you need to understand from each one of them what exactly is their TG. My TG would be very different from a Disney, for sure. There's no doubt. Or perhaps a Cartoon Network and Nick would be very different. So that, of course, it's a subdivision. But when I say purely as a broadcaster, that's a key. That's key for me. Now, story could be I could tell you, I'm looking for a 9 to 14 boys comedy. You obviously need to, whichever broadcaster you're going to go for. I would say there two, there can be 2 different opinions. One is, you need to keep the brand of the broadcaster in mind, for sure. What is their brand? What is my brand? Nick has always been humor. It has always been humor. Let's say, I don't know if I can say Cartoon Network, even if I see it as a viewer, I see it as a more action sort of guy, channel. Disney would be more for girls, drama, all that stuff. This is how you broadly, divide all these three channels into. So you obviously need to keep, okay, if you're making a drama, your first obvious choice will be to go to Disney. If you're making a good humor animation series, Nick could be the first obvious choice. Similarly, so that we would keep in mind. But what really sells, it could be anything. It could be live action, it could be animation, it could be movie, it could be series, it could be shorts, is how good my concept is. I will always get attracted to it. At the same time, you should always also not believe that, they're not doing anything live action. Let's not even try. You never know. When the strategy changes, when a broadcaster thinks, let me experiment with it. I probably will experiment with something non-fiction, even on a kid's channel.
So that's, I don't know if I'm based.
I think we're pretty much out of time, but you want last question, online question, another online answer.
That, someone pitches you something, but it's not for your brand and you're not doing it at that time. But you like the pitch, so you want to see that guy again because he's going to give you interesting pitches.
Absolutely.
And there's a kind of rhythm that sets in because of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Shelly, and thank you very much, Anu, for people who spend millions of dollars actually making a TV show or a movie and then going to a broadcaster. You saved all that money this afternoon, so you've got many times your price of admission back. It's been invaluable. I think these are defining conversations because it tells you, it distills for you the knowledge that is accumulated from our panelists over many, many interactions and their view of the world as they see it, both from the point of view, I think more personally, but also professionally, across the talent landscape and across the broadcasting landscape. So thank you once again. Anyone have a question, or have you said it all? Anyone a question? Okay, your name and identify yourself and ask your
I'm
question.
Deepthi, I'm from Ma TV, which is a regional channel here, and we're looking to launch a kids channel. So you've never asked about broadcasters in the audience. So what I'm going to say is that, Nick itself is saying that, Nick itself is saying that, it's really expensive for us to get content. So imagine regional players, it's really tough for us to get contemporary stories about Indian kids and Indian childhood. So I just wanted to ask that, is there a growing market for that right now? Like Indian contemporary Indian children in characters of stories? Like Kumkaran on Kobo.
I'm sorry. I understand. I really understand, and your problem, because I go through that all the time. Working in such limited budgets and maintaining the position and doing all that stuff. So exactly. It's important for these, as I said, the series that have to come up. And today the market is so open that today. A movie at one point of time when the Bollywood films were being, one channel had the rights and they had it forever. The broadcaster just bought the satellite rights from the movie producer. Today, a movie right, it's the number of runs which are sold to every channel. Similarly, a broadcast, the producers who are making it, they have the option. While we are a national broadcaster, we probably might you would love to retain the rights for all the languages, but the option is very much open to them. They can sell it. They probably can sell Hindi and English to one channel. They can sell it to it's a great opportunity even for them, because you have so many regional channels coming up. They have the potential, so the potential for them becomes much bigger, that they can sell it to so many regional players, and the recovery of cost becomes far more easier for them. And so, as I said, today the ways and means of recovering the cost is far better than what it used to be earlier. So yes, the focus should be more on, at the same time I agree, as a national broadcaster, if I'm saying I have limited resources, regional broadcasters have even more limited resources. And as a result, because of that, it's even more imperative for them to create characters, to create shows, to create concepts which are Indian, yet again, as I said, again, which have the potential of going outside India also, so that the burden is not so much just on each one of us, it gets shared. The reason why we get it so cheaper from outside is because they're not just dependent on one broadcaster. They're getting it from everywhere. The concepts are such that they have the potential of, getting the viewership from any region or any territory that they're sold into. And that's how it becomes easier for each one of us.